keys and codes, combinations and revelations. No longer restricted access. This is a place of elevation. He gave me power over position and wisdom for my reality. He said no weapon formed would be a match for my vitality, which brings me to this moment, this fight, this wave. I'm standing in my purpose. I'm standing in my wealthy place. Purpose producer.
Welcome back to the Purpose Producer Podcast, powered by Clear Mix. Today, my guest is very special. We go back some 15 years. She is an actress, a comedian, a writer, but most importantly, she is my sister, and you can watch her on any channel pretty much coming up in the next couple weeks. I would like to introduce to you comedian, writer, actress, Miss Courtney Bledsoe. Courtney B, how you doing, sis?
I'm doing good, Georgia. Thank you so much for having me.
It is an honor to finally get to interview you. You are the only person who can FaceTime me with no notice, and I will answer ugly. Okay?
You do answer. You be answering. It don't be ugly, but you be answering me every time. You be
I feel
cute.
ugly. Like I do not answer people's FaceTime calls. It is you, and that is a privilege.
Because I'm a FaceTime. Listen, I'm a FaceTime girl. I FaceTime everybody. I be like, nah, pick up the phone. I want to see you.
So I always ask my guests this on the Purpose Producer, and that is, I give you the definition. A purpose producer is someone who's using his or her gifts to help others reach their destiny. So who are you, and what makes you a purpose producer?
I am Courtney B. Bledsoe. I'm gonna put Bledsoe on the end because my mama don't be playing. She was like, girl, you better say your last name. I gave it to you. And I'm helping people to just kind of understand that it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your life situation is. Like, keep going, keep striving, keep, trying to reach that goal that you're trying to reach, because it is obtainable. I promise you, you can persevere. You can do it. You're going to cry through it. You're going to holler through it. I'm telling you, I done had eviction notices on my door. I have not had places to sleep, and right in the nick of time, God came through and boom, a place to sleep, stomach full. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to be inspired, to be faith-filled, to keep going on whatever journey they're on, because whatever their goal is, they can do it. There are no limits. So you create the life that you want. So I want to encourage people to go out there, create the life that they want. Start today if you have to. But understand that the 10 years gonna pass, the 5 years gonna pass, the 3 years gonna pass. So you might as well let it pass while you're doing what you love, even if you gotta work that 9 to 5 that you hate. Do your hobby or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, your passion project. Do that after work. You know what I'm saying? We waste a lot of time sitting up watching Netflix movies when we can really be getting to it. So it's grind season, baby. Let's go.
Yes, Miss Courtney B, finally on the Purpose Producer. You're one of my favorite purpose producers. You probably don't know this, but you have been inspiring me since college. I come from a family I'm the only girl of boys, 4 children, and you were one of my big sisters at FAMU. I think it's just really special that you ended up at FAMU, because that's not where you started. So talk to me a little bit about your journey through college and getting that first opportunity.
Well, through college, it took me 8 years to graduate. So that's a start. Took me forever to graduate. I did 4 years at TCC like it was a real college. And then I did 4 years.
Wait, for those who don't know what TCC is, Tallahassee Community College. Girl, I did not know you were there for 4 years.
Okay, calm down.
All right, I'm back.
I was like the Ice Cube from Higher Learning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the wise one. You get what I mean? But eventually, my friends got younger and younger, and I was like, wait a damn minute, I'm supposed to graduate at some point. So, yeah, once I got to FAMU, I was like, okay, this is a vibe. You know what I'm saying? I love FAMU. I love what it's done for me. When I got to New York, FAMU people held me down. FAMU people continue to hold me down. They have been some of my biggest supporters. And I've just had multiple opportunities. I worked at Patch during my time here in New York. I worked at Deutsche Ad Agency during my time here in New York. And this is all while I was trying to just figure out my life, you know? So I'm very grateful to the FAMU network because even when I was trying to figure my life out, they allowed me the space to do that. And they gave me opportunities where I can make money and figure out exactly what it was that I wanted to do.
A lot of people don't know that you started out in journalism.
Sure did.
You're the next Oprah. That's what we know you as. That's what we knew you as in college, and what we know you as today. You are definitely a media mogul. How did you go from journalism? I have a similar path, but how did you go from journalism to being on the stage opening for these iconic comedians?
Well, the thing about it is that it's all writing, so it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is you ain't using APA style, MLA format. Like you're not using any of that. Who cares about a comma splice? I had to get out of it. I was like, I'm tired of indenting my paragraphs. I can't. But that's just the biggest difference is it's all writing. So it's all journalism in its own way, right? I write jokes for a living. That's what I do. And I'm constantly writing. I have notebooks full of just stuff, thoughts, you know what I mean? And it's just constant writing. You're constantly writing out your thoughts. And sometimes you'll have a joke and you'll be like, yo, that joke fire. But then you get on stage and you be like, nah, I need to rewrite it. And it's constant rewriting. So I'm still a journalist. It's still in my bones. It's still in my blood. My granddaddy wrote for Jet Magazine. I still carry his legacy on, but it's just in a different way.
And shout out to Auntie Yo as well. I know you got a lot of journalists in your family.
That's my boo. She wrote for the Washington Post for years. And she was one of their top writers. She was amazing and still continues to be amazing. But she's retired and she's enjoying that retired life. So shout out to my auntie.
I think that's the power of the FAMU network as well, because I knew you in college. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to my first journalism conference, I knew to look for your auntie because you told me my Auntie Yo gonna be there. And so that's how we met. And, we're still connected.
Yep. That's my girl. And she takes care of everybody. If I introduce her to somebody, she gonna make sure they good. So yeah,
you are really good at connecting people. But I want to talk about your connection to yourself, because you are a woman of faith. And if you don't believe in nothing else, you believe in Courtney. So what has it been like for you to keep that faith in self when you've had these tough times, these ebb and flows?
What's really interesting is I've been going through a ebb, I guess, lately, which is crazy because, I'm currently in a flow.
Yeah.
And I call it my champagne problems. Because there are times, I'm human, right? So there are times when you don't think you got it. Wilding out has been quite the experience, you know what I'm saying? But it's been challenging for me mentally, right? Because you are around all of these talented people and you start to question, how did I get here? Am I supposed to be here? How am I going to stay here? You know what I'm saying? But I'm constantly reminded that my talents got me in the door. My talents are going to keep me in the door. And I've been working my entire life towards these goals, to be in the room with Michael Che, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Dulce Sloan.
You got so much coming up. Like, I don't even know how you keep up with it.
Comedic minds ever. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. To be in those rooms with those people has been so eye-opening, in that I am not in control, but God is in control. And God has opened so many doors for me. And it's just been God's favor. I can't even tell you. You know what I mean? I always love to keep my energy pure. I love people. I love making people feel good. I want people to feel included. I don't want nobody feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important to me. And so that's what I carry with me. You know what I mean? And I love myself. You know, my mom really was an integral part in helping me with my confidence and making sure that I was a confident Black girl and understood that I was beautiful in any phase. You know what I mean? With the pimples, with the crooked teeth, with the short hair, with the long hair, with the color hair, big, small, whatever it is. My mama was like, whatever phase you in, you're gorgeous in that phase. And she continues to reiterate that. I mean, she will not listen to me down myself. Even today, I mean, I might say, I'm stupid, man. Don't say that. You're not stupid.
And for those who follow you on social media, we see your mom front and center every opportunity, whether it's physically in the room or on FaceTime.
That's
She
my
is
baby.
forever celebrating you. That is that's so special.
That's my baby. I mean, I literally just got off the phone with her. I got to send an email for something and I'm exhausted. So I'm like, Mom, can you help me? And she like, I got you. So she writing an email for me. You know what I'm saying? She's just my biggest supporter, my biggest fan. And God knew that I needed the mother that I have in order to do this. Because I don't think that I would be where I am without the support of her. So I meet so many people that don't have supportive parents. So many comedians that don't have those supportive parents. And I think that it's a little harder to really walk into those rooms when you don't have that same amount of support. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just so grateful for that. There were so many times where people would tell her, let Courtney find a job. Let Courtney be grown. She's grown. Let her, let her fly. But my mom was like, nah. If me and Courtney in this thing together. She flying at her own pace. I'm gonna be right there with her, making sure that when she flies, she takes off. And that's exactly what she's done through this entire journey. So I'm beyond grateful for her and her presence and what she has meant to me, because seeing her excitement, I'm like, Mom, it's happening. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think she's like in awe. Like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm like, wait, what?
I really love that for you. And I love that for her that, she gets to see you shine on all of these stages, and you really deserve to be there. I really want to dive into your latest opportunity with VH1, Wildin' Out. I remember seeing the post for casting back in January, and I thought about you, but I didn't send it. I'm so glad that somebody did, but even more that you wrote it down and that you spoke it into existence. Tell me about that manifestation.
Well, I wanted a recurring role. That was a big deal for me. This was prior to the pandemic. I was like, Lord, I want a recurring role. The pandemic hit, and of course, there were no roles. But after the pandemic, I kept talking to God about this recurring role. And I told my manager, I said, I want Wildin' Out. I said it specifically. And honestly, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't even think I was going to get Wildin' Out. I just wanted the opportunity to audition,
Well, let's dive into the audition tape, because, you spoke it, the opportunity came up, and it didn't come by way that you thought it was going to come, but you were ready. And I saw your audition tape. So I'm excited for everybody who gets to see you on the show coming up next week on VH1. But talk to me about what went into the creating the audition tape. It was beautiful.
Well, so I do a joke on stage about one of my students.
Kamari.
It's called Kamari. And the funniest thing about it is that it's not, the boy's name is not Kamari. His name is actually Mike. Shout out to Mike. Mike reached out to me after I got Wildin' Out, which was that's probably been one of the most rewarding things that's happened since I got Wildin' Out. And he was just like, yo, I'm so proud of you. And he's 22 now. That's the crazy part about it. But I had him when he was in middle school. And we had this roast battle or freestyle. We were freestyling. We had this battle going. And man, he killed me in that freestyle. And so I have this joke that I do on stage, and what I ended up doing was bringing it to life. So I'm on stage and I'm telling the joke, and while I'm telling the joke, I bring it to life. I have kids in the classroom, and we are just playing it out. It was so amazing. I have my guy Greg, the golden child, Greg Griffin. He's amazing at what he does. I cannot tell you how grateful, and that's why I say when God puts people in your life, when God orders your steps are ordered. Nobody can tell you yes, nobody can tell you no, but God. And Greg has been an integral part of my entire career. He's been here from the beginning. When he first saw me, he said, I want to help you. And he has continuously helped me put out content. I called Greg. I said, Greg, I'm auditioning for Wild 'N Out. Greg said, say less. Greg got the kids. Greg got the camera.
Wow.
Greg said, just come up, just come, and I'll do the rest. I couldn't have done it without him.
It was like watching a show. Like, I cannot believe that
he did it in a
he
day.
did the casting and all of it.
He did it in a day. He sent it right back to me. It was amazing. And the greatest thing about Greg, I said, Greg, I'm gonna send you some money. Greg said, you don't owe me nothing. He said, Courtney, you don't owe me anything. Greg is a gem. And when I tell you, Greg is one of those people, when you see me, you gonna see him. If I'm on set working on my show, Greg gonna be right there. Greg is coming with. You know what I'm saying? So a big part of my success is not that it's just me. It is a team and a tribe and a group of people that play integral roles in my spirit and in my entire holistic being and who I am. So it's not just me. I have an entire group of people that play roles in my life that keep me going. And I've been very blessed to be surrounded by those people.
You know, you mentioned going through, this stretch, this season of stretching right now, and with Wild 'N Out, and I definitely can relate to going from local news to network to this show and that show. And while the work has been put in, it's just something about getting to that next level and like looking around and being like, okay, it's real now. Okay, I'm not where I was. I'm in a new place. How has that journey been for you? And how did you navigate, the stretching?
It's overwhelming. I'm navigating the stretching now. So I honestly don't have an answer to that question because I'm stretching now and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. I think this is the first time that I've really had to stretch. This is the recurring role that I was asking God for. And God is like, okay, I got it for you. Now it's time for you to stretch. And now it's time for you to pull up to the plate. And, that's what I plan on doing. I started taking improv classes because that's one thing I know I need to work on. I'm a comedian. I stand on stage. I make people laugh. But improv is another piece that I didn't know I needed, that I feel like I need help on. So it's a stretch. It's definitely stretching me out. They be like, they throw out a word like cardboard, and then all of a sudden you got to be cardboard. And it's just like, so you're stretching your mind, you're stretching your body, you're stretching your voice, you're stretching all of these different parts of yourself that had not been tapped into. So yeah, I don't really have an answer for that. I'm currently stretching and just trying to figure out.
Well, that is the answer. You're taking classes to prepare yourself to be more comfortable in this space. But Courtney, I'm gonna tell you, I've been watching on the outside, and you've been stretching, sis.
I know. You know what, Georgia? Everybody's like, Courtney, you do this every day, like you got it. But I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, child. I don't know if I got stage fright. I be freezing. I be like,
well, you're human. You're human.
I think
that's definitely
a lot of pressure.
A part
it's pressure. It's pressure. It's pressure. It's pressure.
But more pressure than opening for Michael Che 4 times in 1 year? Like,
yes.
Performing at the Kennedy Center, like more pressure than that?
You right, girl. You listen, my resume getting lengthy. It's getting lengthy.
It's giving CBS.
It's giving networks. It's giving
I just want you to hire me, Courtney. I just want you to hire me
Sis,
when
I
you're
got
ready.
you.
I want to
I
be,
got you, sis.
your
I got you
on-call
because I'm pretty
producer.
sure they're gonna find like some tweaks or something. There's gonna be a cancellation or something at some point. I'm sure I'm gonna need some good work, some
Well,
good.
the beauty of watching your journey and the people you're working with is they all have multiple streams of income. They all have multiple shows, multiple brands, multiple tours. And I see all of that for you. I know that you're getting ready to open for Roy Wood Jr. in Detroit. Tell me
Yeah.
how that opportunity came about.
Oh man, this opportunity was amazing. So Roy and I have known each other because, of course, rattlers. And oh my goodness, I was hanging out at the Comedy Cellar, which is one of the most iconic comedy spaces in New York, period. It is the most iconic comedy space in New York. And so I'm just hanging out. It's a late night, like, I don't know, it had to been like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Decided to go over there and walk in, and Guy Tori is sitting there. Che is there. Keith Robinson. You got Reg Conquest, Derek Gaines. I mean, it's everybody. Von DiCarlo, Godfrey is there. We clowning Godfrey. This night, we body Godfrey. We were clowning him. And it was just this when I tell y'all that night was amazing, it was an iconic night. And I'm roasting Godfrey because at the time, Godfrey had just got into it with the T.I. thing because T.I. was started comedy and Godfrey had made some comments, so he and T.I. got into it. So I'm clowning Godfrey about this situation, and everybody was hyped up. Courtney, because I was clowning them. So much so that somebody bought me wings that night. Lit. Okay, free food will work. Will work for free food. So anyway, Roy Woods comes in and he's like, yo, you from Detroit, right? I'm like, yeah. He like, I got some work for you. I said, okay, word. Now, I'm thinking Roy about to throw me something light. You know what I'm saying? Something, like a local show. He like, I want you to host for me in Detroit. In my city? Say less. So Roy has just, pulled out the red carpet. I'm in Detroit next week. Opening for him at the Garden Theater in Detroit. It's my first time performing in my city. I'm so excited.
Courtney, that's so special. I just got chills. I'm so excited for you.
Thank
Like,
you.
you got another network show coming out. You just had, a premiere in May, 2 episodes
HBO
on That
Max.
Day on Michael Che.
Yep.
And now opening in your hometown. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Wish I could be there.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I can't wait. This year has been crazy, girl. It's only June. Like, we halfway through. And my year has just been amazing. So I'm just really in a place of gratitude and just being grateful for everything that's happening for me right now. I can't thank God enough just for how things are working out. So yeah, man, trust the process. All of that stuff really sounds cliche, but it's so true.
It is. It is. And you, like you said, you don't know that you are creating your own path because you're in it.
You're in
in
it.
it.
You living it. You doing it. Girl, I stopped doing comedy for like 6 months, maybe even longer than that. You know what I'm saying? But this comic, he came up to me. He was like, yo, I ain't seen you in a minute. He was like, you got to be consistent. Like, get consistent. I was like, dang. And then ironically, let me tell you, this is the ironic part. My last boyfriend, who completely broke my heart, is the one that got me doing comedy like every night. Because when I met him, I was doing comedy like one night a week, 2 nights. And he was like, you a comedian, but you don't be doing comedy like that. He was like, next week you need to book 3 shows. And then he would challenge me. How many shows you got booked this week? You know what I'm saying? He would challenge me. And it works. It got me on my grind. And you know what's ironic about that? It wasn't until I cut him off that the doors started opening up.
Oh, that was the one.
That was the one. That was the one, baby. When I'm telling you, it's
People come into
insane.
your life for a season, a reason, or
It's
what is it?
crazy. Yes. Yes, honey. He did. He served his purpose. He really did. I know he's somewhere watching me on
Thank you,
TV.
old
Like,
boy.
right. Shout out to that boy. Shout out to him.
Shout out to you, bro. All
Shout out
right.
to what's the name? What's the name?
Oh, what's his name? Another what's his name? Look,
What's
what
the
I love about your journey with Michael Che and with Wordwood Jr., these are two male comics on a national spotlight who are putting female comedians in position. Why is that important at a time like this?
And let's be clear, he's putting black women in
Black.
positions. Black
Yes.
women in positions, and it's a beautiful thing. Roy is always putting black women in positions. I mean, Parrish, Sashay, I don't know, Dulce Sloan. I mean, he's put so many Yamanika Saunders, like he's put so many women in great positions, and he works with so many black women, and he's constantly just thinking of ways that he can help people progress. He always tells me like, "Yo, use my number, call me up sometime," and he's so funny because I'm always like, "But what am I gonna talk to you about for real?" You know, like, am I gonna be like, "How was your day?"
What
I
you
don't
talking about?
understand. Yeah, like what were you talking about? But Michael Che as well. He's constantly, y'all. He's constantly Khalees Hawkins. And all of these are writers that were on the show. Yamanika Sanders. Me. I mean, I got to go into the writing room with Michael Che. That was my very first writer's room. And nothing that I wrote was like, actually filmed, but to be able to see the process, for him to invite me into such a space as that was just amazing. And he's just I'm telling you, Michael Che, that's my guy. Like
Solid dude. Yeah.
I vouch for him on every level. He is the kindest person.
I remember when you first met him, and I was like, okay. And, kind of because I've seen this business, I've seen how people can be, and I wanted to make sure he did right by you. So to see that journey in the last year and some change really come to fruition for you is just really beautiful.
And we
You
like
performing
friends.
here in Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And we're like friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, it's I'm telling you, it's crazy. It is the crazy. Like, we'll kick it till 5 a.m, just laughing and kicking it. But that's what he like. He'll stay up and kick it all day, just shooting the shit. And he loves that. That's what his writing room is too. It's just shooting the shit and coming up with these great, great concepts. His show on HBO Max is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, yes. Thank you for introducing me to that show.
Yeah.
Because, of course, I watched For You, but then I ended up watching like 3 or 4 more
Yeah.
episodes because it's so good.
It's so good and it's so funny. Roy and Che are just true gems in this industry. And there's so many more black men that are coming up in this industry and are looking out for black women and really trying to put us in positions to progress and further our careers. And so, yeah, I love to see it. I love it.
I think I've had you tell this story before, but I love this story of when you were hosting in New York and a certain actress was in the room and you called her up on stage. Tell me about that.
So I was hosting at the Comedy Cellar. Shout out to Sherrod Small. He runs the show. Sherrod Small is a legend as well. You've seen Sherrod Small on that 90s. I hate the 90s. Remember, I hate the 90s on like VH1 and MTV. I hate the 80s.
Yes.
All of those shows, Sherrod Small was like commentating on. I remember the first time I saw him on the scene, I was like, oh my gosh. That's the guy from VH1. Because I watched him even Godfrey, I watched him my entire life too growing up. So I was like starstruck seeing them. But Sherrod Small and I have created a relationship, and he's another one that's always looking to bring black women into the fold. The Comedy Cellar is a tough place to get into. So for him to allow me to host his show for him is such an honor. And I was just so grateful that he allowed me to come into that space and do my thing. And I was hosting at the Comedy Cellar. He was like, yo, I think Amy's going to come through and do some time. He said it's so casual. And I was like, oh, okay, trying to be casual. And I'm up on stage.
Amy Schumer, that is, y'all. Amy
Amy
Schumer.
Schumer.
Not just any Amy off the street.
Not just any Amy. Amy's so sweet. I've actually met her a couple of times. But this time in particular, I was on stage doing my thing, and I see people waving at me in the background, just waving. And I'm like, oh, next up is Amy Schumer. The crowd goes wild. She comes up and she's like, she's so funny. Give it up for Courtney. I'm like, yes.
Yes. Do you have that on tape?
Give it up. Yes, I do. Give it up for Courtney. So yeah, Amy Schumer is really sweet. I met her a couple of times. Che actually had her in the series, and I was on set for that. Method Man was there. Charlemagne the God was there. Z-Way was there. So
Love that episode, by the way. That was so good.
Yeah, that was a great, great, great episode. I was in there too.
I seen you on the platform.
Did you see me
on the platform?
Did you
I
see
see
me?
you everywhere, Courtney. I do. I look for you, and you just gravitate to me. Okay, I find you. All right, Courtney. You're not just a comedian, actress, and writer. You're also an entrepreneur. So, talk to us a little bit about your apparel line and how can we support?
So, I have a joke where I motivate women to just love themselves. I'm a plus size woman. I love my size. And I want women to love themselves, period, regardless of size. And so I created a shirt that says, I don't owe no man a flat stomach. And it's something that I make all the women at my shows repeat and say. And it's been an amazing journey. So many women come up to me after it and they're like, yo, I wish my mom was here or my aunt was here to hear that. One girl told me, she was like, yo, I battle with anorexia, and, you made me just feel so confident in that moment. And I was like, girl, be confident. You know what I'm saying? Love that body. It's the one that God gave you. Here, my mama. I don't know if it's the one he gave you. That ain't the original. My mama, she's rude as hell. She's so rude. But anyway, so I have these shirts. It is an amazing line. I'm working on expanding the line. But you all can follow me at My Life is a Joke TV. And shirts and more apparel will be coming soon. We are currently restocking.
You're busy. It's like, when are you going to have time to put out the new apparel if you're always on set?
We got to make time. We
know you got a team, though. We know you got a team. So I want you to introduce us to your best friend who's always on the road with you, your road dog, literally.
Literally. So my best friend, Shayna Hill, that's my right hand. If there is a contract, if there is something that needs to be handled, sis is going to handle it. I'm talking about from putting on my boot to making sure that money is paid on time. Sis is going to handle it. So Shayna Hill is pretty much my assistant.
I've seen her on the road with you. She really takes care of you. And that's something that's really hard for people to find. Somebody who genuinely loves them, who really has their best interests at heart. So congratulations on that, on having a solid team.
She's so solid. She's been here with me from the beginning. She carried me when I couldn't carry myself. So that girl, that's another one. She going right to the top with me. Tippity top.
Look, we know that this is only the beginning for you. And there's so much more in store, but tell us, where can we watch you on our TV right now?
All right. So right now you can tune in to That Damn Michael Che on HBO Max. Make sure you watch the entire season, but also make sure you watch the first episode because I am in the opening sketch. All right. You can also see me on Wildin' Out season 18. I am on VH1 June 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune in. I will be tuned in to see if I'm even on that episode, okay? But tune in every single Tuesday because your girl is on a bunch of those episodes, okay? I can't wait for you all to see it. It was just such an amazing show to film, to actually be there and really get to see how they do everything is just so amazing. And everyone on the show is so talented. And I mean, it's a great show. So make sure you guys are tuned in to VH1, June 21st, 8 p.m. Watch your girl.
Look, Courtney, I almost forgot to give you a shout out and give you your flowers on your Sheen magazine feature. What is it like to go from studying journalism to being in the headlines?
Right? It's surreal. You know, when I got that message that they wanted to actually do a profile on me, I was like, what? You're asking me the questions? But it was so amazing to be able to tell my story and to have people actually want to read and know more about me has been an honor. So I'm just grateful for that opportunity. And special shout out to Sheen Magazine and Yvonne, who wrote the article. She was so amazing about everything, and I'm just grateful that they took the time and included me in the magazine.
Well, congratulations once again. And thank you, thank you, thank you for being my sister and being my
Thank
friend and for
you.
allowing me to have a front row seat to your success. Because we know not everybody's invited.
You know everybody ain't invited, honey. Some of them is in the nosebleeds, honey. They can get in the building, but they don't get the front row seat. Okay. Some of them out the building. You can't even get in. How you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. Word to Chris Brown.
Keys and codes, combinations and revelations. No longer restricted access. This is a place of elevation. He gave me power over position and wisdom for my reality. He said no weapon formed would be a match for my vitality, which brings me to this moment, this fight, this wave. I'm standing in my purpose. I'm standing in my wealthy place. Purpose producer.